While Donald Trump is watching golf at the Ryder Cup this weekend, he has ordered a full-fledged military invasion on Saturday morning of Portland, Oregon. He gave the United States military the orders to invade and to use full force, as though he's ordering the United States military to kill people in Portland, Oregon. There's no other way to interpret what just went down. Here's what Donald Trump posted this morning again while he's out in Long Island enjoying a golf match on the taxpayer dime. He writes, "At the request of Secretary Homeland Security Kristi Noem, I'm directing the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I am also authorizing full force if necessary. Thank you for your attention to this matter."
In a world saturated with information, finding the truth requires unwavering dedication and independent voices. America Facticity stands as a beacon for factual, unbiased reporting, delivering the stories that truly matter. Join our membership for just $9 a month. Your support helps us grow our team and create even better content. Find the link in the description below.
A surreal split screen this weekend. While Donald Trump watched the Ryder Cup on Long Island, he also posted an order authorizing the deployment of U.S. troops to Portland, Oregon, invoking full force if necessary to protect war-ravaged Portland and nearby ICE facilities from what he called Antifa and other domestic terrorists. Multiple outlets reported the order and quoted the full force language, with the post traced to his social account. Australian ABC summarized the directive on Saturday, and local Portland coverage had already been bracing residents for federal deployments following weeks of escalations around ICE facilities. This isn't normal, and it's not a drill. The order fits a broader 2025 pattern of federal deployments into U.S. cities run by Democrats, couched in rhetoric about crackdowns on protests, immigration, and crime. Even the neutral backgrounders cataloging these deployments underscore how controversial they are under long-standing limits like the Posse Comitatus Act, which restricts the military's role in domestic law enforcement. Those primers also tie Saturday's Portland move to the same full-force phrasing from Trump's post. Now, if you're thinking the UN fiasco earlier in the week might have emboldened him, you're not alone. The United Nations actually issued a statement explaining that the infamous escalator stop, which MAGA influencers spun into sabotage, was triggered by a built-in safety mechanism, likely set off by Trump's own videographer walking backward at the top landing. That's from the UN's readout of the escalator's CPU log. This isn't conjecture.
So he uses that boogeyman Antifa in order to say we are sending, which he's now referring the Department of War, to do a military invasion of an American city. Now, just a reminder, we've been covering what's been going down in Portland as ICE agents there and Trump's Gestapo have been provoking the community and looking to spark some pretext for Donald Trump to send a military invasion into Portland, Oregon. You'll recall back on September 7th, 2025, I did a video where you will see a peaceful protest taking place, and you will see the ICE agents throw the protester onto the ground. Let me show you as part of the provocative actions by ICE to trigger this military invasion. Let's play this clip right here.
Pussy ass bitch! Put that stick away, you pussy ass! Fucking tear.
And then, of course, a few months back, I shared this video with you as ICE was ramping up its efforts to try to provoke this pretext for military invasion. You'll see right here, ICE agents brutally harming a father in his car, doing nothing in front of his children in the back seat. This took place right in the suburb area of Portland, and this is part of what ICE was trying to do to provoke the community there. try to encourage protest against ICE so Donald Trump can say there's a war and we need to stop the war. There's an invasion. Here, let's play this clip of what went down. Let's play it.
Hell, hold on. I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
Well, you should have done it already.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you so much.
You mind if I grab your ID from you? Go ahead and roll your window all the way down.
Why? What's going on?
Go ahead and roll your window all the way down.
I have a baby in the car.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything with the baby. Just roll your window all the way down. Do you have your ID on you? Police.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, can I see your ID?
Yeah, that's police.
Where are you heading?
Daycare.
I'm sorry?
Daycare.
Okay.
Where's daycare?
Just to Beaverton.
How far?
5 minutes. So, there's a baby in the car. And is it hard to wait for 3 minutes? Mommy's coming now. Okay? Hell, hold on. I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
Well, you should have done it
I
already.
told you 3 times. Unbuckle your seatbelt.
Yeah,
Step out
but
of the
you
car.
still understand.
Step out of the car.
Okay.
Because
I'm Iranian.
Yes,
I'm Iranian.
I understand.
That's why they are doing this. I'm a doctor. I'm an Iranian.
this is not okay. And no one here will identify themselves to me. They came into, you are not okay. This is not okay, and no one will identify themselves. No one here will identify.
And then you'll recall it was about a week ago where we played this for you as well, where ICE detained this lady's father within blocks of a Portland elementary school, putting the staff and parents on high alert there. The lady goes, "My dad was ready to take out his real ID, but an agent yelled at him, 'I don't want to see that. Don't show me that.' They never identified themselves. They kidnapped him." Let's play this clip of what went down there. Play this clip.
Doorbell video shows ICE agents moments before detaining 32-year-old Anna Aria's father.
I couldn't come to reality that was happening.
This is the moment Felipe Aguilar Gama was stopped by ICE early Monday morning.
And he's not a bad person. He's not a criminal.
Put the phone down. Put your hand. Put your hand now.
My dad was ready to take out, his ID, and my dad has a real ID, and the guy was, I don't want to see that. I know who you are, and like just yelling at him, and never identified themselves, never said who they were. Basically kidnapped him and just took him.
Anna says her dad was taken to the ICE detention facility in Tacoma, Washington. She went to see him Wednesday.
It was heartbreaking. He says the conditions there are harsh, like they're overcrowded. I've never seen my dad cry ever. And seeing that today just completely broke me.
Anna says her father moved from Mexico to America 35 years ago and worked in construction. She says he is undocumented, but in the process of becoming a legal citizen.
I think he just wanted a better future for himself, for his family.
And then, of course, you have Pastor Adams at that Portland ICE facility. And this is what Donald Trump is saying: war zone. This is a war ravaged. Take a look at what happened here. This is Pastor Adam from outside the ICE facility over there in Portland. Let's play this clip.
Hey everybody, it's Pastor Adam. I am here in Portland at the ICE facility with a whole bunch of other clergy and people of faith from the Portland area and beyond to rise up and say no to ICE and yes to our fellow human beings, our immigrant siblings who are created in the image of God. You know, scripture says over and over again that we are to love the immigrant in our midst as if they are a native born. It also says, Jesus himself says, how we treat the stranger in our midst is how we treat him. Christianity especially has a long way to go to make up for our divine mandate to love our neighbor, including our immigrant neighbors, as we love ourselves. God bless.
Now, as part of the actions being taken by Kristi Noem and ICE in order to provoke division within our country, this is what was posted from the Department of Homeland Security account yesterday. Now we have the full picture. This is part of the bending of reality, the disinformation, the propaganda that is being flooded in by this Trump regime in order to create this cauldron of division, so then Donald Trump can use these authoritarian tactics like order a military invasion of another American city. So again, they post this photo right here. This is the official Homeland Security account. They write, 2 of the monsters who opened fire on a children's baseball field in Katy, Texas, gained status and even U.S. citizenship under Biden's administration. Mustafa Mohammed Matalga and Ahmed Mawad ruthlessly opened fire, hitting the team's coach while he was leading a prayer. These individuals should never have been allowed in our country. Under Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, we are working to prevent attacks like these from ever happening again. But then we learned what the real story was this morning. A Texas youth baseball coach was struck by a stray bullet during a baseball game in a suburb of Houston on Sunday, September 21st. 3 men were arrested on felony charges of deadly conduct with a firearm after officials reported that a suspect fired their gun from a nearby pasture toward the baseball field, according to a press release from the Waller County Sheriff's Office. Officials said the gunfire struck one adult male in the shoulder. Law enforcement believed the shots were meant for target practice and not directed at the players. In a state that has very lax gun regulations and gun laws, we know what's happening. This morning during a baseball game, an unfortunate incident occurred involving recreational shooting on a nearby property. The local police department was immediately notified of the possible illegal hunting and notified and responded to the scene in an effort to locate and apprehend the individuals. It was a hunting thing, to be clear. And then what was it? On Friday, the day before, there was this story that right-wing media was trying to push. 17-year-old Caden Spite was reportedly shot and abducted while wearing a MAGA hat by multiple Hispanic men in Florida. All the right-wing MAGA influencers pushed that out. But then we learned this whole thing was a hoax, and right-wingers, some of them deleted their posts, some didn't delete their posts. But what actually happened was that it seemed to be a child who was mentally unwell in possession of their father's firearm. You see the things that happen over and over again. Lax gun laws in Texas, possession of father's firearm, blame radical leftists. That's what they were going with right here. Utterly ridiculous. It's why it's important that we have a healthy media diet right now and we know what's going on and what's actually being reported. I found this to be rather interesting and disturbing as well.
And the Portland picture. Let's separate signal from noise. Portland outlets like KGW reported city and state agencies were already preparing for potential National Guard federal activity after a summer of stepped-up ICE encounters. ABC, Australia, then reported the specific authorization for Portland, including the full force framing. Put together, the pattern is clear: federal muscle, political theater, and a legal gray zone with very real local consequences. Meanwhile, MAGA media pushed fresh panic bait. The Department of Homeland Security's official social account posted that 2 of the monsters who opened fire on a youth baseball field in Katy, Texas, had gained status or citizenship under Biden, claiming an attack on kids at prayer. Local law enforcement says that's not what happened. The Waller County Sheriff reported a coach was hit by a stray bullet from nearby recreational shooting. 3 men were arrested on deadly conduct charges, and authorities believed the shots weren't directed at players. Yes, DHS's inflammatory post was real. Yes, the local facts contradict it. Zoom the lens wider. As CNN has noted in broader coverage, Trump's Pentagon leadership, including Pete Hegseth, has paired overtly political messaging with domestic deployments this year, all while Trump and allies escalate public attacks on media, comedians, and even universities. Whether you watch CNN or MSNBC, that's the through line. Use the machinery of government to punish critics and to militarize civic disputes. On the national security front, the world is watching and testing. NORAD scrambled tankers and an E-3 AWACS late last night when Russian aircraft probed the Alaska ADIZ, a pattern of incursions we've seen before, but that now lands amid U.S. domestic turmoil. The scramble and radio traffic were documented by open-source trackers. The operational picture, KC-135's E-3, Fighters on Alert, matches prior NORAD intercept profiles. It's not proof of causation, but adversaries do read moments like these as openings. Back to Portland. The legal problem is simple. The U.S. military is not a domestic police force. Even if the White House labels protests as terrorism, the default rule is still civilian law enforcement, FBI, U.S. Marshals, DHS components, not active duty troops. That's why experts keep pointing to posse comitatus issues, and it's why even Trump-appointed officials in the past balked at the most extreme presidential asks. If you want mainstream framing to bookmark, ABC News and CNN have been explicit for years. Federal help must stay within the law, and using troops against civilians is the line. That's the exact line many observers worry Saturday's order is designed to blur. The propaganda machine around this is also textbook. You gin up lurid threats. Antifa, domestic terrorists, pump out viral but misleading posts, see DHS on Katie, and lean on friendly voices to urge force. Then, when backlash hits, you reframe it all as law and order. MSNBC's newsroom has been documenting how this spiral repeats: escalation, misinformation, deployment, city by city. If you want receipts, compare the step sequence in LA, DC, Memphis, and now Portland. One more thread to watch: the money. Business press and investigative reporters are tracking Trump world figures like Steve Witkoff, now an envoy to Russia, while simultaneously tied to World Liberty Financial, the Trump-aligned crypto venture reportedly buoyed by Gulf Capital. These are not disconnected storylines. Diplomatic portfolios and private cash flows moving in parallel raise obvious conflict of interest flags. Even mainstream trade and regional outlets, from real estate to Middle East desks, are now documenting those relationships. And remember, the week's media angle. The attempted pressure campaign against Jimmy Kimmel blew up when it met the First Amendment and public pushback. Even Ted Cruz ended up rebuking the censorship vibe, because government threats that leverage licensing or regulation to silence critics are flatly unconstitutional. Kimmel's return, massive ratings in hand, is a case study in the Streisand effect. Try to ban a critic and you fuel their audience. CNN, MSNBC, and press freedom lawyers all noted the same core point: state power cannot be used to coerce or chill protected speech. So here's the bottom line for Portland today. According to ABC's reporting abroad and local outlets at home, Trump authorized a federal military deployment with full force if necessary. The UN escalator sabotage that MAGA used to frame a siege mentality was, per the UN's technical readout, caused by his own team. The scare graphic from DHS about Katy, Texas? Local law enforcement contradicts it. And while U.S. forces scramble to meet Russian probes near Alaska, the White House is using troop talk against Americans in an American city. Those aren't vibes, they're facts on the record. If you live in Portland or any city floated for deployments, 3 practical notes. Follow local officials and verified outlets for curfew, street closures, and rights guidance. Don't rely on viral clips without context. Portland's KGW and the county state emergency channels are your best first stops. Know your rights around protests, filming public officials, and interacting with federal agents. Document badge numbers, units where safe and legal. Archive posts. If you see official accounts spreading claims, screenshot with timestamps, misinfo gets deleted or edited. According to CNN and ABC, any use of troops on U.S. soil still has to obey the Constitution and federal law. If full force becomes a pretext for unconstitutional use of the military against civilians, expect immediate court action. And you'll see us cite filings and rulings as they hit Pacer. If you want us to keep fact-checking every claim in real time, tap subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next breakdown. It helps a ton. Question for the comments: do you think deploying troops to Portland crosses the legal line, or do you see it as law and order? If you're in Oregon, what are you seeing on the ground right now? Drop your city and what local officials are saying, and please link credible sources: local TV, sheriff, city press office. I'll be down there in the comments today pinning the most useful on-the-ground updates and answering your questions. If this helped you cut through the noise, hit the like button so more people see it in their feed. And if there's a claim you want us to fact-check next, reply with the exact quote or post link, and we'll verify it against CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Fox, and primary docs before we include it.
And remember, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button.